site now, continuing welfare check.
Hello? Can someone help me?
Ma'am, it's the police. We're here to help.
In here?
Watch that right.
Got it.
Please, don't.
Whoa, stop! Stay back!
Hands, let me see your...
A welfare check was supposed to be boring until the bodycam caught a pale girl exploding out of the dark. If you're into tense police mysteries, hit subscribe and like right now, because this case only gets worse the more you learn. The call came in at 1:12 a.m. in Bellingham, Washington. Female voice asking for help. Inside a house, caller can't see her. 2 patrol units rolled up to a worn craftsman home on Alder Street, porch light dead, curtains drawn. Officer Cara Mills led the entry, mid-20s, athletic, brown hair in a tight bun, calm eyes that didn't miss much. Her partner, Officer Daniel Price, was bigger and quieter, early 30s with a shaved head and the posture of someone who'd learned patience the hard way. A third officer stepped in behind them to assist. Officer Mason Reed, late 30s, close-cropped blonde hair, sharp jaw, a smile that never reached his eyes. He'd been in the area. Cara didn't love that. Reed had a reputation for being overeager. The bodycam overlay stamped everything in sterile numbers, rec, battery, timestamp. The hallway was narrow, smelling like old wood and bleach. Daniel called out Bellingham police. "If anyone's inside, speak up." A woman's voice answered from somewhere deeper. "Please help me, don't leave." Cara held her light low. "Ma'am, we're here to help. Where are you?" Silence. Then smaller, like someone trying not to cry. "He's here." Cara glanced at Daniel. Reed moved too fast, pushing past them as if he knew the layout. "Back room," he said, and Cara hated the certainty in his voice. They reached a door half open, darkness thick behind it. The voice came again, right from that void. "Please don't let him." Cara stepped forward, one hand up. "Ma'am, come toward my voice slowly." Nothing moved, no footsteps, no shape. The air felt wrong, like the room was holding its breath. Then it happened fast enough to turn training into instinct. A figure burst from the darkness. A young woman, maybe 19 or 20, painfully pale, long black hair hanging in strings, dark circles under her eyes like she hadn't slept in years. She lunged straight at Daniel with pure panic, a choking sound in her throat. Daniel stumbled back, hands up, trying to block without striking. The camera jerked. Cara shouted, "Stop." Reed's voice cut through, too loud. "Get her down." In the scramble, Cara saw the girl's wrists, thin red marks like old restraints. The girl's eyes locked on Reed for a split second, and the terror there wasn't confusion. It was recognition. They got her to the floor without punches, just weight and leverage, Daniel pinning gently, Cara controlling the arms. The girl fought like she was drowning, whispering between breaths, "Not him. Not him." Reed snapped cuffs on her with a practiced click. "She's feral," he said, as if that explained everything. Outside, under patrol lights, she looked even smaller, bare feet on cold concrete, oversized t-shirt, no coat. Cara draped her own jacket over the girl's shoulders. "What's your name?" Cara asked. The girl stared past her at Reed, talking to dispatch like he was narrating a win. "Lena," she whispered. "Lena Porter." Daniel's brows knit. "Do you live here, Lena?" Lena shook her head. "He keeps me," she said. "Downstairs." "Who?" Cara asked, even though her stomach already knew. Lena didn't point at the house, she pointed at the badge. "At him," she said, voice breaking. "Officer Reed." At the Whatcom County Jail intake desk, Lena Porter stood under fluorescent lights that made her skin look almost gray. She was thin, maybe 5'5", collarbones sharp under the borrowed jacket. Her eyes were a stormy blue that kept sliding to the door whenever footsteps passed. Cara tried to slow the process. "She's a potential victim," she told the sergeant on duty. "Look at her wrists. Look at her feet." Officer Reed laughed once low. "Or she's a junkie who attacked a cop. Don't romanticize it, Mills." Daniel kept his voice even. "No one's calling her a monster. We're saying the scene didn't add up." Reed leaned in like he was sharing a tip. "You ever hear of skinwalkers? People out here love that stuff. Dark house, voice in the room, then bam." He snapped his fingers. "That's how stories start." Cara watched Lena's face at the word, not fear, anger, the kind that comes from being mislabeled for someone else's convenience. In an interview room, Lena sat with her hands uncuffed in front of her, fingers trembling from exhaustion. Cara slid a paper cup of water across the table. "Lena," Cara said gently, "I need you to tell me what happened. Why did you run at Officer Price?" Lena's mouth opened, then shut. "I wasn't trying to hurt him," she said. "I was trying to get past him." "Past him to where?" "To the door, to outside." She swallowed again. I thought you were him." Cara's pulse ticked up. "You thought Daniel was Reed?" Lena nodded. "The uniforms looked the same in the dark." Cara lowered her voice. "You said someone kept you downstairs in that house." Lena's eyes went flat, focused on a point behind Cara's shoulder. "Basement, behind the laundry room. There's a lock that isn't supposed to be there." Her nails scraped the tabletop. "He told me if I screamed, he'd tell everyone I was crazy." "Who is he?" Lena lifted her head. "Mason Reed," she said. "He's the one who brought food. He's the one who decided when I got light." Cara forced her face to stay neutral, but she felt heat rise under her collar. How long? Lena's lips trembled. Since I was a kid. Outside the room, Reed was already writing his report, voice loud for anyone nearby to hear. Suspect charged at Price, non-compliant, possible mental health. Could be drugs. Kara stepped out and confronted him near the bullpen. Why were you so sure about the back room? Reed didn't look up from his tablet. Lucky guess. You didn't seem lucky, Kara said. You seemed prepared. Reed finally met her eyes. For a second, his smile vanished. Careful, Mills, you're new to the politics here. That night, Kara pulled the incident log, the dispatch audio, the address history. Alder Street had been called in before noise complaints, woman crying, strange banging, always cleared, and the clearing officer's name kept repeating, Mason Reed. At 3:04 a.m., Kara sent a message to Internal Affairs. Potential unlawful detention. Need eyes on Officer Mason Reed. Then she went back to the house with Daniel, no sirens, no drama, just two cops with flashlights and a feeling that the basement was about to answer everything. The laundry room looked normal, until Kara found the second lock hidden behind a hanging towel. Subscribe and like, because this is where the Skinwalker story starts collapsing in real time. Kara and Daniel returned to the Alder Street house without sirens. The front door still sat ajar, a dark mouth opening into stale air. No one cleared the whole structure, Daniel muttered. Kara tracked details. Scuff marks on the floorboards, a faint dragging line in dust, bleach layered over something older. They went straight to the laundry room, washer, dryer, detergent, too tidy. Kara tugged a towel off a hook and exposed metal hardware beneath it, a deadbolt installed low where no visitor would notice. Daniel's jaw tightened. That's not code. Kara tried the knob, locked. Fresh wood shavings glittered along the frame. We need a warrant, Daniel said. Kara was already calling it in. But I'm not leaving this door. A soft sound came from behind it, tap then silence, like someone shifting weight in the dark. Kara felt her pulse climb, then footsteps. A flashlight beam swept the hall. Mills, Officer Mason Reed stepped in like the place belonged to him. Late 30s, close-cropped blonde hair, sharp jaw, that familiar smile. What are you doing here? Kara placed herself between Reed and the door, following up. Reed's light landed on the deadbolt. The pause was tiny but real. Storage, he said. Old houses have weird rooms. Then you won't mind us opening it, Daniel replied. Reed's smile tightened. You don't have a warrant. Kara held his gaze. If there's nothing there, you'll look great in the report. His eyes sharpened. And if there is something there, you're accusing a fellow officer based on the word of a violent suspect. Step back, Kara said. Now, for a breath, Reed looked like he might refuse. Then he lifted his hands. Fine, minutes crawled. Kara stayed locked on the door. Daniel watched Reed more than the house. SGT. Hughes arrived with 2 more officers and a signed warrant. Late 40s, tired eyes, mustache, voice like gravel. He read it once and nodded. Open it? Daniel popped the deadbolt. The door groaned and gave. Cold air rolled out, damp and sour. A staircase dropped into darkness. At the bottom was a second door with a keypad lock. SGT, Hughes frowned. Who puts a keypad on a basement door? Kara looked at Reed. Reed looked away. They forced it. The door cracked and Kara's flashlight landed on a room that made everyone go still. A mattress on the floor, a bucket. Chains bolted into concrete. Pencil marks on the wall like someone had measured a child's height line after line, stopping years ago. On a shelf, women's magazines stacked by year like time had been rationed. Daniel's voice came out rough. This is real. Kara found a plastic bin. Inside, a faded school photo, a little girl, black hair, bright blue eyes. On the back, a name in looping ink, Lena Porter. Behind her, Reed's radio chirped. He thumbed the button too fast. Unit needs assistance, he said, but his eyes weren't on the room. They were on the exit. Reed didn't panic like an innocent man. He went into damage control like it was a drill. SGT. Hughes secured the basement door. No one touches anything else, he ordered. Photos first, then evidence tech. Reed forced a laugh. You're really doing this over some creepy room in an old house? Kara held up the school photo. That's not creepy, that's a person. Reed's eyes flicked to it. We don't even know it's hers, could be squatters. Who owns this place? Daniel checked the mailbox label. Caleb Voss. Reed seized on it. There you go, Voss, recluse. Maybe he did it and the girl attacked us to escape. Kara didn't argue. She stared at the keypad lock, thinking about how people choose numbers when they want a lock to feel permanent. Try something, she told Daniel. Daniel entered a random date. Wrong, he looked at Kara. Kara turned slightly toward Reed. What's your birthday, Mason? Reed blinked. What? Humor me. Reed's smile tightened. You're out of line. Kara said a date anyway. The keypad beeped acceptance. Silence slammed the hallway. SGT. Hughes stared at Reed. Step back, he said, voice colder. Now, sirens approached Internal Affairs and Evidence Tech. Kara's earlier message had done its job. It brought adults into the room before the story could be rewritten. IA investigator Naomi Chen arrived first, early 40s, raincoat over a black suit, eyes like a scanner. She took one look at the photos and then at Reed. Officer Mason Reed, Chen said, you're being separated from this scene. Turn over your weapon and radio. Reed's face hardened. On what grounds? On the grounds that your access code opened a detention room under your response address, Chen said. Don't make this worse. Reed's gaze snapped to Kara, pure calculation. This is Mills' crusade, he said. She wants a headline. Kara kept her voice steady. I want a missing person found. Back at the station, Lena sat in an interview room wrapped in Kara's jacket, knees pulled to her chest. A nurse had brushed her hair back, revealing an old scar along her hairline. Chen entered with Kara and a victim advocate. Lena Porter, Chen said, gentler now. How did you end up in that basement? Lena's eyes tracked the door as if it might lock again. Foster home, she said. I ran, I thought I could sleep in the park. Her voice thinned. He found me, he said he was a cop and I was safe. Kara's stomach turned. He gave me food, Lena continued. Then he took my phone. Then the light went away, she swallowed. He told me no one would miss a girl like me. Chen's pen paused. How old were you? 12, Lena whispered. Chen asked, why attack tonight? Because I heard his voice, Lena said. I thought the door was closing again. Outside the room, Reed was already pushing his narrative to anyone who'd listen, calm, confident, like a man who'd outlasted every complaint. Then Kara's phone buzzed, an unknown number, one message. Stop digging or the next report will be about you. By morning, Reed had turned himself from suspect into victim without raising his voice once. Kara walked into roll call to a room that felt different. Conversations stopped. A few officers avoided her eyes. On the board, someone had written officer safety in big block letters like a warning label. SGT. Hughes pulled her aside. Reed filed a complaint, he said quietly. Says you targeted him, violated protocol, and contaminated a scene. Kara stared. Contaminated, we found a detention room. Hughes rubbed his temple. He's loud and he has friends. Reed's supporters were already whispering. Mills is new, Mills wants attention, that girl's dangerous, you saw the bodycam. Kara requested the full footage, not just the clip. Naomi Chen granted it. Facts only, Chen said. In the footage, Reed had inserted himself at every key moment. He'd been the one to cuff Lena, the one to label her feral, the one who tried to stop the warrant. If someone was shaping the story, it wasn't Kara. Then Daniel found something that made Kara's skin prickle. The dispatch log showed Reed had asked to be added to the call before the first unit even arrived. How did he know? Daniel asked. Kara didn't have an answer she liked. Chen got a judge to sign a search warrant for Reed's home and vehicle. When Kara arrived with IA and uniformed backup, the driveway was empty, garage closed, curtains drawn, too quiet. Evidence tech popped the garage side door. Inside sat Reed's patrol SUV, clean, detailed like he was proud of it. In the cargo area, under a folded tarp, they found a heavy-duty padlock and a ring of basement keys. The tech lifted the tarp more. A cardboard box. Inside, women's magazines same years as the basement shelf, and beneath them a small charm bracelet with letters spelling Lena. Chen's eyes narrowed. Bag everything. They went inside. The house smelled like coffee and cologne, normal on purpose. In the office, Kara found a folder labeled VOSS. Inside were printouts, property records, renovation receipts, a sketch of the Alder Street floor plan with one section circled in red. Daniel pointed to the circled area, laundry room. Kara's hands went cold. Reed hadn't stumbled onto that basement, he'd engineered it. In the bedroom nightstand, Chen found a burner phone. The screen lit with one unread message, sent at 2:58 a.m. right after the basement door opened. She's talking, fix it, Kara swallowed. There's a second person. Chen nodded once. Or more? Back at the station, Lena sat with the victim advocate, still flinching at sudden sounds. Kara told her they'd found personal items at Reed's house. Lena's voice came out small. So he kept pieces of me, she said. Like proof, a call came in from patrol. Reed's badge had pinged on a traffic camera leaving town 20 minutes ago. He'd taken the highway north toward the border. Chen's expression didn't change, but the room tightened. Put out a bolo, she said. Now, Kara stared at the map on the wall, the thin line of road running into darkness. Reed wasn't just running from arrest, he was running with a head start. The bolo went statewide by noon. Reed's badge pinged near Blaine, minutes from the Canadian border, then stopped like he'd learned how to go dark. Naomi Chen built a timeline. Northbound, avoids main exits, disappears near the industrial docks. He has help, she said, or he has a second vehicle. Daniel pulled Reed's recent call history from the department system. One number repeated, Captain Trevor Dane, a supervisor in a neighboring jurisdiction. Old friends. Same academy class. Chen's jaw set. Bring Dane in, quiet. Dane arrived smiling, expensive watch, acting offended. Chen laid out photos, the basement, the keypad, the bracelet, the burner phone. Tell me why Reed called you, Chen said. Dane played calm. He said Mills is unstable, said she's making accusations to cover use of force. There was no force, Kara snapped. Chen slid a map forward. Your county has an evidence incinerator site, she said, and Reed's route points straight at it. Dane blinked too slowly. Enough. Daniel's phone buzzed. A unit found Reed's SUV abandoned near a service road, engine still warm. In the dirt, 2 sets of footprints. 2 people, Kara said. Chen nodded. Move. They followed the road past rusted fencing and stacked shipping containers, the air smelling like salt and diesel. Behind a container row, they found a second vehicle, a dark pickup registered to a shell company. In the bed, gloves, zip ties, and a sealed evidence envelope from Whatcom County. Kara's stomach dropped. He stole evidence. With a tech present, Chen opened it. Inside was a copy of Lena's intake paperwork, fingerprint card, photo, everything that proved she existed in the system. Erasing her, Daniel murmured. A door slammed deeper in the yard. Footsteps ran. Kara and Daniel moved fast but careful, calling out, "Police, stop!" Units closed the perimeter. A K-9 handler signaled from the far fence. Track leads to the old maintenance building. Inside, dust floated in flashlight beams. A folding table sat against the wall like a workstation, laptop open, portable scanner, a stack of documents. On top, a foster care file stamped 2013, Lena Porter, age 12, runaway, no confirmed sightings. Kara swallowed hard. He rewrote her into a missing kid. A shadow shifted behind a doorway. "Show me your hands," Daniel shouted. Officer Reed stepped out slowly, hands raised, face calm like he'd been waiting. "Easy," he said. "You don't want this messy." Kara kept her weapon low but ready. "Where's your friend, Mason?" Reed's smile was thin. "You still don't know who protects who." Chen's voice came from the entrance. "Mason Reed, you're under arrest for unlawful imprisonment, evidence tampering, and obstruction." Reed's eyes flicked toward the laptop. "All I did was protect the department," he said. "You think they'll thank you for dragging this into daylight?" He took one step back toward the doorway behind him. And Kara realized he wasn't trying to escape. He was trying to reach something they hadn't seen yet. Kara held position while Chen's team secured Reed in cuffs. He didn't fight, he just watched. "Open that door," Chen ordered. Daniel kicked it once. The frame cracked. A second hit and it swung inward. It wasn't another cell. It was a tidy storage room staged to look boring, plastic bins, holiday decorations, old uniforms in garment bags. But the air was different. Dry, warm, like electronics had been running for a long time. Kara's flashlight caught a faint red dot on the ceiling. "Camera," she said. Evidence tech climbed a chair and found the lens small, hidden inside a smoke detector shell. They traced the wire into a metal cabinet bolted to the wall. Inside the cabinet, hard drives labeled by date, years of them. Chen's face went still. "Bag it all." On a shelf below the cabinet sat a binder, no title, just tabs. Names, addresses, call numbers, notes written in a clean, careful hand. Kara recognized some of the addresses, places Reed had cleared on night shifts, noise complaints, welfare checks. Nothing found. The binder wasn't just about Lena. It was a playbook. Reed's thin smile finally broke. "You don't know what you're looking at," he said, voice almost gentle. "That's what policing looks like when you don't want the public to panic." Chen didn't react. "Save it for court." Back in Bellingham, the drives were mirrored and reviewed under warrant. The footage wasn't cinematic. It was worse, ordinary, routine, administrative evil. A basement door, a girl brought food. A man's voice telling her to be quiet. A badge flashing like proof that there was no escape. No gore, no theatrics, just control repeated until it became normal. One clip made Kara's hands shake. Reed on the night Lena first vanished. A park, a small figure on a bench. Reed's voice calm, reassuring, "You're safe, come with me." Then the camera tilted and Lena disappeared out of frame. Naomi Chen paused the video and looked at Kara. "We can prove abduction," she said, "not just detention." Then another clip surfaced, Reed speaking to someone off camera. A second voice answered, older, confident, Captain Trevor Dane. The 2 men laughed quietly about paperwork and runaways and how easy it is when the story's scary enough. Kara felt the last excuse die. Dane was arrested before sunset. So was a third name in the binder, an evidence clerk who'd lost files on command. When Lena heard Reed was in custody, she didn't celebrate. She sat very still, like her body didn't trust good news yet. Kara entered the interview room with Chen and a public defender. "Lena," Kara said softly, "the DA is dropping the assault charge. You were reacting to a threat. You're not going to prison." Lena's eyes filled, but the tears didn't fall. "So I'm real," she whispered. "In the system." "You're real," Kara said, "and you're safe." Safe didn't mean simple. Lena would need housing, therapy, time. The city offered resources. The department offered apologies that sounded rehearsed. Kara offered something smaller and more honest. She sat with Lena while she signed paperwork, explained every step, and made sure no one spoke over her again. Reed tried to speak at arraignment. He looked straight at Kara and said, "You'll regret this." Kara didn't blink. No, she thought, you will. Because for the first time, the story didn't belong to him. Subscribe and like if you want more cases like this, stories where the scariest thing isn't a creature in the dark but power used in silence. And tell me, if you were on that Bodycam call, would you have believed Lena or would you have believed the badge?